Yeah, gone.
All right. Well, I'm glad everybody's still saying yeah because I already hit. What's up, everybody? Damnation here with another episode of BPCN No Quarter. This one's called FM Madness, and tonight we got with us Demonic Apparition, aka Ozzy.
Good morning, everybody.
We got Stormcatcher.
What's up, everyone?
We got Watchman.
Hi, everybody.
We got Cuttlefish.
Hello, everyone.
We got Ross.
Good day, hello.
And in the wings, we got Chuck. And I think Simba's going to be joining us in the wings at some point in time, so we'll be rotating people in and out. But, okay, so where do you guys want to start? Do we want to do the ECVXP weekend thing first? Yeah, I had like 2 boats that needed just a wee little bit of DXP on them, finish them off, and that was pretty much that for me. I'm sure most people probably didn't have a thing to DXP.
Nope, nothing.
I didn't have anything to VXP, but I have been farming the Defender VXP tokens out of there. So the rides were great in there
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been farming a couple here and there. I'm just having, after as many targets as I drove in the raid, I'm just having a hard time finding the motivation to go out and hit more targets like that quite yet.
Yeah, very similar feeling. I just went and hit a few of them to get some VXP tokens, Defender ones. I realised how much I enjoyed those targets. Not, still grinding it. Yeah.
Well, especially if you're just done the FM, you don't grind something else as well.
Yeah, I again, like most, I had nothing to upgrade. It was just for the tokens for myself personally.
All right, well, that covers the XP weekend, so there you go. I figured that was going to be a pretty quick one. I guess we can talk about TLCs. There's not really much to talk about there. The one is for the suppressor. I'm not doing it because I already have a suppressor. And then they have the one for the Howler tokens and kits. I did it, so I maxed out on the tokens, and like they really need to add some kits into that thing. Because we're on U2 now, and it takes 500 kits per hull, and you get 120 out of that TLC.
Yeah, I'm short. Yeah, I've got 2 more to go to U2, and I've got 260 or 300 of 500, so I can't do any more until I get another 1,000 kits, basically.
Yeah, I just got to the point. I'm like, it's almost not worth doing 2 more prize packs to only get like 80 tokens or 80 kits rather, when I can just wait and bounty get like
the upgrade.
100 at a shot.
You're getting the upgrade tokens as well, though.
Yeah. You just gotta watch though. You keep doing prize packs when you can't hold any more tokens. Because I got 10 and I almost did another prize pack, and I was like, oh, I better go check that. And I'm like, oh no, I'm full.
Yeah, I was using them as I was going because I was upgrading one at the time, so I could just use it straight away. So I think I've only got 1 or 2 tokens, but not enough kits.
Don't worry about it, Ren. We get one of those pretty much every single week. Before we even start, we get a thumbs down. I've just kind of learned to ignore it.
Yeah,
Oh, I got one already.
that's me.
Oh, dude, it was up there before I even hit the broadcast button.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
I mean, for me, I'm using my Pegasus to just auto that campaign myself, as far as for the Howler one.
And you're not having a problem doing that?
No.
Okay.
Well, I
Good deal.
drove it, but
I can auto like two prize packs. Like I did prize pack 3, I think it was, in the first run of the mastery round. I just let it auto, and I think I ended up with like 3 hours repair maybe between both of them together, not driving at all.
Oh, okay, that's good.
yeah, I drove mine pretty much instant repair between each one, and then I think the last one was like 16 minutes repair. So target 7, that is.
I've been so busy, I ain't even been able to do that TLC yet.
You've been grinding on the weekly, or what? Why have you been so busy?
Family matters.
Oh, okay. All good. Just wondering.
No, wait. You mean real life took priority over battle pirates? Man, you got your
Yeah.
priorities all screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah, I've not been on the game long myself today. I had friends around watching the football, a few beers, stuff like that. You know, usual nice. You know, and just turn the game off for a few hours. You know, sod it.
All right, so let's. I guess we can go ahead and talk about the now. First, before we get into the prizes, let's talk about the new target. What do you guys think about the target? Me personally, I don't think the target's that bad. I was actually
like it.
pleasantly surprised. I was expecting some, hit the target, take 15 hours worth of damage, and still die anyway, and type of target. But no, I thought it was pretty reasonable. I personally am still sticking to the 127s because where I'm at in my build, my damage to point ratio is still a little bit better. I mean, I can hit 3 127s for pretty much the same amount of damage I get in the 139, but I get like a million more points doing the 3 127s. So, but I mean, it's kind of a wash, really, because you got to hit 3 targets compared to 1 target. So, but I mean, I wasn't all that, mad about the target. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I like the target. I did 13 of them the night at night time just before I went to bed, and it was like 9.5 hours repair. So it was repaired by the time I got up in the morning. But I like the targets. I do them for around about 43 minutes repair per target.
Yeah, I'm still taking too much damage, and to be honest with you, I think it's the upgrade level of my Praetorians. They're not fully upgraded yet, and I think that's the difference that I was seeing between. I took the same. I watched Ozzy, his path. I took the same path, and the only difference really between our fleets was the upgrade level, and he was taking a lot less damage than I was.
Yeah. But you did decrease your damage by only 10 minutes, though.
Yeah. The path did help, but obviously it's the upgrade really that I think that's making a difference on this.
Yeah. Well, my number ship 5, which isn't to U3 yet, that one takes a little bit more damage than the rest, but U3 shouldn't really make that much difference to that. Should it? I don't think.
I straight auto the thing, and my ships are not upgraded past U2. I'm late. I'm not an upgrade person. And I mean, so I have upgraded when I've had totally free shipyard, but other than that, I don't do upgrades on PvE. So, and even my fleet does it in all honesty, an acceptable repair time. I mean, I think I'm just over 2 hours even, but just at 2 hours or 1 hour 40, it jumps around here and there, but it's right around that per one. Well, that's actually fine with me. I can load up and damage the fleet and slow repair. As long as I can do that, and I'm not going to coin the weekly. So I'm actually going to hit whatever target or not do the weekly. So I'm happy, very happy with the situation on how the 139 came out.
What I'd like them to do
real quick,
quick,
I'm going to rotate out Watchman and Ross and bring in Chuck and Simba so they can put their take on the FM in. I really want to get Chuck on here so I can publicly ridicule him for using the DOS in the FM. So
there you go. All right.
Just one thing though, with the U3 Praetorian, I think they should change the color of the countermeasure, the built-in countermeasure, just so you know it is actually firing, because you can't actually tell.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Hello, Simba. How are you?
All right, I just put the headset on.
How are you finding the new FM target to be?
I'm sticking with 133s. I like them better.
Right on. The damage to point ratio is better for you?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Chuck, the man I was looking forward to.
Evening all.
How are you liking the new target, Chuck?
It's actually not too bad. Running without a crew, I did 139 on auto for 2 hours and 45 minutes of damage. So if I were to do that, and burn my fleet out and then repair overnight, I could probably get about 8 targets. So still, if you were to do 8 targets, overnight repair, and do it every day of the week that the FM is running, you should still get 300 million or more.
And let's talk
Now,
about
with the crew, and I ran a DOS because I've got these crews, and I'm like, what should I really use them for? I'm not sure. I just, for the hell of it, grabbed a DOS crew and used it. And that week I did 1 billion points for basically no repair in base. It was basically map repair. I was doing 133s to do that. Running the 139, which just came out, I get a little bit more points than what the 133 was offering. My map repair varied. The target kept throwing me different things. My fleet, I ran it auto the entire time. I got map repair or in-base repair because it was like between 1 minute over all the way up to 25 minutes over, depending on which direction the fleet autoed. Depending on where the ships encounter the actual ships in the target, it would take a different path. That determined how much extra damage you would get. My lowest in on the map repair was 10 seconds with that crew. If you can't get a DOS crew, I would suggest a Deadeye Destroyer if you can get it, because it should give you the critical targeting for your weapons and for your countermeasures. And then if you can't get that crew, Sea Serpents.
Are you sure you mean Deadeye Destroyers?
Yes.
Because Deadeye Destroyers is not the silver version of DOS.
No, it's not the silver version of it, but it's an easier crew to get.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Deadeye Destroyers doesn't affect countermeasures, though.
No, doesn't. Just deals critical damage with most weapon types.
Nah.
15% chance to deal critical hits with all weapon types, excluding scatterguns and UAVs.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, like I said, the other one is actually the toned down version of DOS, but honestly, that one's even harder to get than DOS is anymore. And I'm going to say now, and like I'm not saying anything live on the air to Chuck that I haven't already told him many times privately. It's like while that's a cool idea for a hot minute, that is not at all a sustainable way to do the FM. I mean, those crews are very hard to get. You know, if it runs out, it's going to cost you 30 gold to renew it one time, and I'm damn if I'm going to spend 30 gold to do the freaking FM. You know, I mean, it's like I said, it's one of those things that's cool for a hot minute, but it's definitely not a sustainable way to do your FM.
Well, people has their own ways of doing the FM or doing targets and all that, and you know, some of us sometimes have to take other people's advice, and well, sometimes we can't, but kudos.
It was an experiment, and I ran with it. Probably not going to run with it very far.
Probably 3 weeks, maybe. Oh shit! I don't have any more DOS crews.
Yeah, I think I've rolled maybe 500,000 so far this week, and I have not gotten another one.
Yeah, they do not pop up very often. Let's talk about the prices of the prizes, and then we'll talk about the prizes. Prices, in my opinion, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They keep upping and upping and upping that bar, and it's getting a little bit crazy.
They need to put the prices like the up from 25 million and up into tier 6 or tier 7. Keep them out of tier 5 where
2.5 million in tier 5. That should be it.
Yeah. because lower players is trying to get it to the tier 5, and they get up there and they see those prices. They don't know what to do. They know they ain't gonna be able to get to that and all that, but at least if they know they can get to tier 5 for a while, eventually they'll get up to tier 6, and eventually they'll get up to tier 7.
Well, see, to me, like what tier it's in doesn't matter as much as just the cost of it in the first place.
The whole FM prize list needs to be relooked at. We do not need Inferno Dragon tokens up there at tier 5 anymore. We need Praetorian ones up there.
Yes, the whole FM price list definitely needs to be redone. I think we should have tier 7 and above items in there. Maybe a special section for collectors items only. For everyone that's collecting old crap that we don't need.
Well, I
But
think
yeah,
it would be hard, I think it would be hard
everything-
for it to specify something as this is the collector's area, just because what I view as being a collector's item and what you view as being a collector's item can be two totally different things. You know?
Or just put, they've got 5 tiers. Go up to tier 7, but have tier 1 for all tier 1 tech and ships and everything. Tier 2, then so on to tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. Put that tier of prices into that section and leave it be. That's where those of us who needs tier 7, we got missing tier 7 tech, we can go to tier 7 on the prize list and we see it in there what we want. Eventually down the line, once they start coming out with all the tier 9 stuff, create a tier 8 section. But I remember at one time it supposedly said that all tier 6 tech and everything was supposed to be put in the labs for researchable. But that was with the old team, or was with Golden Doodle, and yeah, they said, or I think they're the ones that said they was going to do that, but it's never happened yet.
Well, the one thing I've learned after 8 years playing this game is when they say they're going to do something, that's pretty sure sign that they are not going to get to it anytime soon.
Yeah, like the SSRBs, 4 years coming soon?
Or how long have we been redoing crews for now?
Yeah.
And I'm watching chat here a little bit, and Snoopy, I don't think that adding more tiers necessarily is going to mean a bigger point requirement. They're just going to put the already obscenely priced stuff into those tiers. Because I don't see them backpedaling on escalating these prices the way that they are, because people are paying them. So I don't see any change coming up.
Yeah, with the way that they're rotating targets out, and each incoming target is worth more.
Yeah, some people, I don't know who, but I guarantee you some people are. I never do it. Well, reason being I can't, but I think Damnation-n-that said it, and a couple other people said it. They will not coin the FM, but I think there are some people that is actually coining the FM.
I know somebody who just spent 30 gold to renew a cruise to the FM.
Gosh.
I've known people to blitz it.
Here's the thing. If you do just run a regular crew or without a crew, run your FM fleet, Praetorians, in the 133 or the 139 until the fleet is dead. Don't repair it. Overnight repair it. And repeat the next day times, 6 days in the FM?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
if you can get 10 targets times 6 days, you've got 600 million.
But another thing you have to look at is not everybody has the time to log on and do the FM every day.
That's true.
You know, there's people who work and have families and other stuff. Not everybody has, you know, a ton of time to sit down and play the game.
Also,
If
that being said,
you auto 10 targets, it only takes an hour.
Sometimes some people don't have that hour, dude. Like I said, they have families and work and shit that's more important than playing Battle Pirates.
also,
Don't you know Battle Pirates is life?
Go ahead, Cuddlefish.
also that plan occupies my entire repair queue, so I cannot do anything else in the game but do that auto plan. What if there's good TLCs or another event or anything else like that, which splits up my repair time? It's too much repair time that way.
Well, that's why I only do it at night. Well, no, actually, the other day I did it first thing in the morning. I think I did 8 targets. So then I had an X amount of repair time, and then I knew that around, I think it was 2:30 in the afternoon, it was repaired. I did it again, and then it had repaired by 10 o'clock that night. I did it again. I did 12 targets, so then it was repaired in the morning. So it's like, what, around 30 targets in one day. Doing it that
Another
way.
thing that I noticed with the 139 is the fact that your fleet is getting hit evenly across. It's not ship 5 is dying or flagship is dying. It's balanced.
Yeah.
The
Which would tend to
137
say it's
or
more splash
127
than anything else.
It actually seems like all the new targets are that way, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Ren in chat saying something about it would be nice if they would put a generic upgrade token in the FM. I actually brought that to their attention. I think it was last week. I asked them if they could maybe look into doing that whenever they, you know, first start talking about suggestions for the FM prize list and whatnot. So we can hope. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath, but it would definitely be nice because, like you said, that is the bottleneck.
Yeah, well, see, then that's the next problem. If you're upgrading, say, your Riot, and you're going to say, oh, okay, let's do the FM that way, you've got your Riot in the upgrading, so you can't repair your fleet.
Yeah, you can.
That's a different Dakon.
No, it's not. It's the same dock.
Ship you can't build while you're upgrading.
Yeah, that's it. You can't build while you're upgrading.
Oh,
You can repair your
Yeah,
fleet.
my bad. Yeah, I don't know what I'm
You're
thinking.
fine.
Yeah. It's all right. I went blank. Yeah, my bad.
We all have them days.
He's looking forward to 2025 when we get an upgrade dock.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I know what I'm thinking. Yeah.
They just need to hurry up and give that to us.
I don't know where I was going with that.
All right, so let's go through and talk about the actual prizes a little bit, and then I think Ozzy will go with you, and then we'll go to Cuddle, and then I'll rotate you guys out and bring Ross and Watchman back in for a bit. So go, Ozzy. What do you think?
What was the question? I've lost it here.
And that's why I love our panel folks, because they always pay such close attention to what's going on, and they're drawn into the show.
I was still thinking about the other thing I stuffed up.
No, the prizes. What do you think of the two newest?
Okay, the prizes.
Battery.
Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but at the same time, it is a one-off for 110 million. It's a one-off thing. 55 for the other one is probably still a little bit too high, but yeah. But mine's done. I've done the whole thing. I've got 932 million. It's all done. Just hitting the 139s. Like I said, do X amount, repair it. Do X amount, repair it, and then do even more overnight. And yeah, slow repair overnight.
And the question still went over his head. Sorry.
I like both of these new prizes. Both of them will be going on to my riots. Yes, they're very expensive, but they should give us a big DPS boost. So we do have 4 FMs to get all these prizes too. So lots of time.
Yeah, I mean, the DPS the boost is actually fairly significant. It's like 18%, so it's almost like adding a whole nother ship to your fleet.
Right, my riots my riot with a full build before these two new specials had plus 898% concussive damage on them. After I fit these two new specials on it, it went to plus 1061% concussive damage. So it multiplies out very nicely. And since this is a critical hit type build, that should multiply out even further and make that difference even wider. Thumbs up on the refit.
Cool. I'm going to rotate you out now and bring Watchman back in.
Goodbye.
I think
Meantime,
price.
I'm going to throw my 2 cents worth in. I think the refit for both items is definitely worth doing. However, I will put the caveat in there of only do that if it's not really going to interfere with your upgrade. But yeah, I would seriously only do that if it's not going to interfere with your upgrade time too much. So I think the total ends up being like a 1 day, 3 hour, 52-minute refit. So like if you have a 1 day token, then you can take 4 hours to do the refit. So, but yeah, if it's going to take you the whole 1 day, 4 hours or whatever to refit it, and you're still trying to get all your stuff upgraded, I don't know that it's worth that much to do at that point in time. That would be my caveat.
Yeah, I plan on doing the upgrade, but obviously I won't be doing it until a couple of raids, until I've got all of the open water warfare batteries. Once I've claimed 5 of those in 2 raids' time, then I can do it. Or I do have some tokens, but it's just over a day, it's a day and a couple of hours, I think, to fit both of them on at the same time. So that way I'll lose the least amount of upgrade time. Getting back to the FM that we were saying, the prizes and the tiers, because I was locked in purgatory. Yeah, I mean, I think having a tier 6 would be a good idea. Where we put anything 25 million or over would be a good idea. But also in there, I think that's where there should be generic upgrade tokens. That's where you'd put them without changing any of the rest of the FM. So whatever they deem, hopefully not outrageous, but to get some more upgrade tokens.
Yeah, I know.
That was my take on that.
I know when I made the suggestion of putting like 1 upgrade token per week in the FM, I was like, no, I'm not saying take away any of the build tokens. I'm not saying that. I'm saying add 1 of those every week in addition to the build tokens that we already have. Because you say, oh, we'll put this token in, and they'll be like, oh, okay, and then they'll take away another token. So I made that abundantly clear.
Yeah, well, I think if you're going into like what I've now called Dean Tier 6, and you're hitting, going in that big area, and you've claimed one of those big, expensive 25 million plus prizes, then you should be entitled to try and get at least a generic upgrade token. Because a lot of work has gone into that one way or the other. So,
real quick before I get some of the other guys' input on these prizes too, I do want to note that the engines, if you're going to do a transfer and refit the items, that the engines, that's kind of an all or nothing proposition. You don't want to have like 2 of the new engines and then 3 of your old sync drives, because your stuff is not going to stack properly then. Because the sync drive will only make your stuff match the lowest speed, and the reef engine makes them do a higher speed.
Yeah, and that was exactly why I planned to do all mine within a 1 day of it. Because if you've got the upgrade tokens, already on the riots, you can do the whole fleet in 1 day. Actually,
Ross, what do you think?
Yeah, about the 2 new.
Yeah, about 2 new specials.
I'm happy with them. I at first I looked at them and I was like, oh, gee, I don't know if I want to refit or anything. But in all honesty, I have an open shipyard. It's okay for me because I'm not a upgrade person. So I can do these slowly. I looked at the time. It's like for me 1 day, 1 hour, I believe, for both the special switch over per hull. That doesn't interfere with me at all. That means I still get to pocket the tokens from this week's weekly hold in hopes to hold on to them for the upcoming bounty. It's a total win-win. They're good items. I'm not a fan of this the sync drive in per se. I'd like them if I was going to be using Grease Monkey Cruise. However, I haven't really been using Grease Monkey Cruise for in raids for some time, so that's why I liked the sync drives, because it matched. It didn't, that crew didn't throw it off. But other than that, the sync drive really penalizes you in map targets. I feel like if you anything with cryo, if one ship gets slowed down, your whole fleet gets slowed down. It's not no damage gets increased. It's just they don't do well in map targets. So I was happy to see these specials, truly. And I'm not even a fan of PvE.
Chuck, what do you got?
I think the prices are absurd. Should be cut in half. Yeah, the one is a blueprint, make it 50. The other one, drop it down to 25. It's overpriced. I wasn't really enthralled when I originally looked at it until somebody put the numbers in my face. Now I have them, and maybe in about a week or so I'll start refitting because I'm in the process of upgrading.
Yeah, you gotta hate those bastards that actually look at the numbers, don't you?
Yeah.
Simba, what do you think?
I like them both. When I get done upgrading, if I have time, I'll put them on.
There you go. Stormcatcher?
I was listening to everybody earlier before the numbers were put out. All I was going to do was change the battery. But when they put the numbers out, I've decided that, yeah, I'm going to use both of them. The only thing that some of us can hope for, I actually think everybody can hope for, that maybe they can throw these in pillage also, the limited ones, where we can get everything changed over a little bit faster, and where we can also get the upgrades done for those of us who needs to get the upgrades done.
I can pretty much guarantee that you won't see the limited items in pillage, but you may see some upgrade tokens in pillage. But I can pretty much, I'd be willing to stake the farm on it that you won't see the limiteds in pillage, not since they just came out in the FM.
Well, with this battery and this new engine tells me that, actually should tell everybody, that we're going to be having new engines coming out. We're going to be having new batteries coming out. So anytime we hit a new hull or whatever, be very decisive on what engine or whatever you're going to use, because you know they'll probably be coming out in the FM. So everybody's going to have to try to figure out a roadmap for themselves on how to get their upgrades done, knowing that the new tech is coming out the way it is right now, and just start really having a lot more fun than we're having now.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like what you're saying is like a generic engine coming out for each new raid hull. But obviously, in the first iteration of the build, we have to go with the current tech that we have, and the sync drives are probably still the best way to go until they do drop new engines or new specials. You really don't have a choice. You can't sort of wait until they drop them, like after the first raid, you know. But yeah, it's just to be aware of that.
I know my current plan with my fleet is this. I'm going to get ship 5 to X1. Then I'm going to get my flag to X1. Then I'm going to get ship, there's one of them that I still need to get to U2. Then I'm going to do my refits for the engines and the batteries. And then I'm just going to continue on refitting. That is my current plan and where I'm going with my fleet.
Oh, see, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm not going to stress out on the refits. If I have any refit that takes me, I'm just going to throw it out there, 5 days or more per haul. It's not going to happen. I'll never do it ever, because I have this condition where if I see things in my shipyards too long, I have a tendency to coin them, and then that makes the game too expensive and not no, but it doesn't, and then not fun. So I don't do those. And if it comes down to it, I'll have somebody prep the events for me. But I think so far I've been able to do the targets okay, and I'm at like U2 because that's in that range of the 5 days, and that's what I'm willing to do.
I mean, generally, I'm not a fan of, trying to upgrade the highest level possible. But then when I started seeing, how it's going to add this much crit and add that much crit, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, so if I get to X1 and, my crit that I get from R&D, and then I add like, Silent Hunters or a Deadeye Destroyer in there, I'm going to be getting 100% crits. Every single projectile that I fire that lands is going to be a crit. And you're looking at, an extra 150% damage when you crit. I'm like, that's freaking huge. That is huge. So, I know a lot of times I like to say, oh, well, upgrades don't make a whole lot of difference. Well, they really dropped the ball on this one if that's the kind of thing they were trying to stick with, because this upgrade makes a hell of a difference.
No, yeah, this is the first one that I would say makes the biggest difference. I mean, really. Well, there one before where you could shoot the subs, when they were cloaked or whatever. That made a difference also, but not this kind of difference. This is big. It's huge. So it will make a drastic change, but I just can't get there. I'll wait if they have a LTO, limited time offer, good enough. I do those. I just wait for them.
Have you got any upgrade tokens for the fleets there, Ross?
Probably. I don't. The update tokens, yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, sorry, what's the matter? Build tokens. I apologize. I meant build tokens for refitting.
I'm going to interrupt for a second, Stormcatcher. I'm going to take you out and bring Cuttlefish back in.
Yeah.
All right.
It was just that to fit both on at the same time, the actual the engine and the battery. I think we did look at the other day, and I do apologise if I'm a little bit out here.
A day and an hour, right?
Yeah, that was it. So if you've got a token, it might be down a couple of hours, but I mean you only got to wait a couple of hours. So theoretically, if you had a few tokens, you could have the whole fleet refitted in half a day.
Right. Yeah, it's all good. I'm not gonna. I was just saying that I'm saving I have big plans on my weekly tokens are coming up for bounty. And I actually am putting this new engine and the special on my hulls, and I'm able to do that just in regular time. I don't need the token, so it's okay. I'm not a PvE guy, so I don't really do the. I know it's crazy, but I don't do campaigns really, and so it's not like I don't need the hull right now.
Ross.
I'm honestly surprised, Ross, that you actually even play PvE. I'm surprised you don't just strictly do PvP. And then as it comes time where you need a fleet for titanium or something, just buy the fleet for titanium.
I'm super close to being there. Matter of fact, because I think if there wasn't the two or just because there was a PvP item in this last raid, that's the only reason. I'm that close to not doing them at all. And in truth, I'm getting a lot more pleasure out of the game. It's just doing what I like.
Ross, if you are planning to wait for the upgrade all limited time offer, know that that's $10 per step. So if you're at U0 and you want to go to U3, that will cost you $29. But if you are, say, at U2, that will cost you $10. As U0 to U1 takes you like under a day, upgrade time, and to U2 takes 2.5 days. If you just get your ships to U2 the long way, that will cut down the cost a great deal to bump it up to U3.
Yeah, and I am actually. I think I'm at U2, or I'm close, because I do go to those range. That's within my range that I'm willing to do, and so I do get there. So I get the better offer deal when it comes out. I have learned that too, but I don't always take those deals even then, because how much do I need the fleet? If I have a working, a fleet, they don't. In my thoughts are, they don't update the map targets for the resources. They haven't in years. So why? I'm not going to kill myself updating my fleets for them either.
I will say once HTML5 is done and up and running and not buggy, I look for that to change.
No, and that could very, and I hope so, and then we'll see if I change. But until then, that's.
Yeah, but honestly, the only reason I brought that up was because I was kind of maybe looking at doing that myself, just playing PvP for a little while. Because I've done so much of a PvE grind for the past couple of years and not had time for PvE since I spent extremely small amount of money on the game. But I'm kind of getting tired of it. I'm I'd rather just PvP for a while, because back when the game was, for me anyway, a lot cheaper, I used to have time to do both, and I had crap tons of fun PvP.
Well, and the good thing about not just the PvP side isn't it, the PvP is totally on your time frame. That's the cool part about it. You can log out and let your base be flat. I don't even 3-4 days a week. Seriously. And if you just want to come in and just smash and go hard and spend some coins even, and you just do it on your time frame. Or
and not only that, but you're not driving the same target over and over and over and over. There's an endless variety of targets for you to hit.
Exactly, and you choose, and you get to choose. So that's and you don't have to hit things. There's not a single base you have to hit. So that's it's the stress goes down.
The one big downside of PvP that I see, though, is upgrades are so much more essential there.
I agree. They are, but if you have both shipyards available, which I do these days, sometimes
you cannot upgrade Conquerors in the regular shipyard, though.
No, I actually wait for the limited time offers. I'm not gonna lie.
Gotcha.
But they come out with better deals. I'll say that. Like the Howler package, the Subjugator package. Those aren't. If you pay attention and get they've got some good deals here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've currently got 4 deals at the moment, which one is $20 to instantly upgrade entire fleet of breaches to U2. But this is the second fleet that they gave us, which is not upgraded yet. I think, and there's Howler upgrades, there's Basilisk ones as well that are available for. Well, I've got the Basilisk ones for gold, and the Howler one is $15. To build and upgrade kits, which is okay. It's not always fun to have to pay that bit of extra money, but it is a much faster way of getting there or catching up if you want to get into the PvP.
Yeah, I have the full fleet of the Subjugators and the Howlers, but I'll say that my Basilisks, I can't even say that word correctly, but everyone knows that I don't have that fleet all to maxed out, upgraded, because those are, for me, those are hard to drive. The people that do well, there's several in game currently that do great with those. They're better drivers than me. I'll say that.
Basilisks are easy.
Well, I mean, they take practice. I had so much difficult with the range changing all the time back when they originally came out, that I just was frustrated. And then the turning changed on how they turned, and so I never never pursued that fleet when I should have. So
I would say if you use your keyboard to drive, Basilisks are easy. If you're like me and you're lazy and you try to just click everything with your mouse, Basilisks are hard.
yeah, I'm a mouse clicker.
No, I do use the keyboard, obviously. Yeah, I just enjoyed them. The Basilisks. I haven't used them a lot lately, but I enjoy driving the Basilisks. In the right places.
I guess as we've kind of shifted over to PvP talk, this is a good time to talk about bounty. So
You just
bounty
need
is
a
coming.
little patience driving a basilisk.
So
It's just
bounty,
a sniping game.
is everybody ready for bounty?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Possible.
As ready as I'm gonna be. Yeah.
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. I think.
I've got 2 howlers I gotta finish refitting, and then I'll be ready.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm just honest. I'm going to stick with I hope to stick with the subjugators, going for the first 24 hours hard and hitting the Kixeye employee bases. And then from that, I was just going to slowly and then switch over to the howlers and go from there and strategically hit, because it does get expensive using the howlers. It's my favorite event, though, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess we know that the top prize is going to be, it's called what, the Warhound, I think they said,
Yes, sir.
and it's concussive base that has a built-in weapon, and I think really for the most part that's all we know about it.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much it'll be priced at.
60 million.
But we do know it's the first, of the tier, of the new tier, and so I would suggest. I mean, I would guess that it's just going to be it's like that.
Wait, Cuddle, did you say 60 million?
Yep.
I think if it's 60 million points, Nighthawk will be the only person to get one.
Yeah, we because they've gone down to thousands in the. In the bounty,
60,000 then. 60,000 then.
Yeah.
40,000 for the weapon.
But I think it will be like the Breacher, or I'm hoping. So in the Breacher.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it turns PvP on its head or not. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling it's going to be quite expensive, especially the fact that they've limited to only 2 redemptions as well in the first instance. So you can't go out there with a whole fleet of them. Yeah. So as long as it's not a game breaker,
Oh, I just would guess. I mean, howlers are doing pretty good right now still, right? I mean, so if you're going to add to it, I would think that I just plan on for a while, the pendulum, is going to be for the attacker.
Yeah, I'm sure they've done extensive testing.
Real quick, Simba, do you have anything you want to put in on bounty? I'm going to swap you out with Aussie.
No.
Okay, so you didn't really have anything put in?
No, I'm hitting the base. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm going to put it out there that Ren has created a PvP series of videos, and he just put out the High Guard Warden. I suggest everyone to go and watch that.
Yeah, as long as we're plugging Ren's videos, he also put out a good thing on resonance triggers and all that.
Yeah, I
Quite
think that
useful.
was actually a reshare, and I appreciated that. I caught that myself, and I shared that with my group, and that's a good one. That's a hard one for me to explain to people, and that video especially does well, I think. So
Ren has always been good at explaining things in a way people can understand. Me, it's like I know stuff, but I have problems explaining that knowledge. It's like it's like this, and this, and people are so like, huh? And I'm like, I don't know any other way to explain it.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I never got into teaching, because you're not allowed to punch people.
I'm sure it has to do with Ren has a kid and I don't. That's probably a lot of it. He had to learn that patience and teaching factor where I was just like, whatever. So Ozzy, what do you think about Bounty coming up? You ready for it?
Yep. Yeah, I'll be right. 2 howlers still need going to U3. Was it U3, U2? Whatever the last one is. I can't remember. But going back to the daily deals, not daily, time limit offers, the howler one, where you get a whole bunch of crap with it in it, you're only giving you 400 kits. Now, to go to the top U level on a howler is 500, so unless you've already got some, you're not going to be able to do it anyway to the last level.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, there's only 400. I mean, I've got 300, but if someone else is thinking, oh, I'll just buy this, they're not going to have enough. They'd have to buy 2 of them.
That's the caveat. Yeah.
So, unless you've got some stored up already, you're going to be short.
So we need to press kickside to change the TLO to make it 500.
Yeah, really, yeah.
I know
if you're only starting off, then it's fine. But
I know for me and myself, this is going to be a big bounty as far as points requirements, because not only do we have this new stuff that's coming, but since I'm trying to get back into PvP and I let myself lag really far behind, I'm going to have all kinds of upgrade tokens and upgrade kits and all kinds of other crap that I'm going to try to be getting to. So while I'm as ready as I can be for this bounty, I'm kind of not looking forward to it just because I know where my goalpost has to be.
Yeah, with bounty, I usually use my basilisks anyway for pretty much everything.
I'll be asking everybody I know, hey, can you prep this Kickstarter for me? Can you prep this Kickstarter for me? Can you prep? I have like one little boat going here and there to kill one last building. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Because a lot of the bases I'll hit, if I do end up hitting player bases, you can usually get the ops from the outside in most bases still. Then you just got to hit a few warehouses and you got your 50% in your ops and you're out of there. And just like to say one thing, people, move your
dock
away from your ops. How annoying is it when I'm trying to hit the ops and I don't want to hit the dock for them so they can continue, but they go and stick it right next to the OP, which makes it virtually impossible not to kill it.
Yeah,
see, that's a catch-22 though, because then if they put it way outside, then when you hit their base as one of your opponent bases, then you're cussing because you got to go the whole way back outside of the base to go get the dock.
Yeah, no, that doesn't really matter. If it's an opponent base, it doesn't matter. If you're all the way inside and you know it's going to take you forever to get back out, just retreat and go back in, right where the ops is, or whatever's on the outside. It's quicker to retreat and go back in and kill that one thing, and just to drive all the way back out again.
Yeah.
That's what I do anyway.
Yeah, I used to have a fleet of subs doing that. Like the secondary fleet sort of sitting there and waiting just to jump in while I go to the next base,
That's a good
so
point.
basically let the subs go and tidy up around the outside once you gutted the inside.
Good tactic, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, and if I go into a player base, and when I enter, and if the dock is right next to where I jump in, I retreat. If I can, unless I notice that there's a whole bunch of other ships outside waiting to get me. As you go, if someone's got interceptors or something parked outside their base, I won't do that. But a lot of time I'll just jump back out and just reposition my fleet and go back in. So I try not to kill their dock if I can.
Real quick, I saved this for last.
Unless they drive.
If
I'm in a base and they drive, then it's an instant.
We're starting to run out of time, so real quick, I saved this for last. I do want to touch on HTML5 a little bit and what people's experiences with it have been and how things are going and what bugs they found, yada, yada, yada. So we'll just go across the list. Chuck.
HTML5 on Kixeye on Chrome works pretty good. The only issues that I was coming across was hitting the skirmish SSRB gave you a black C until you reached the gate inside. Then it reloaded and you had all the graphics. But by that time it was over. If you were to do base planner and you zoom out, you have a cluster and it's ugly and just the land tiles. So you can't see what's really in the base. If you do a playback on HTML, it shows the land tiles and the effects and nothing else. It's really funny to watch. I did talk with Peter briefly because I was having an issue on Facebook Game Room where regular size screen, it vibrates, it won't let you play correctly, so I had to dump back to Flash and it ran fine. So I sent that in to Peter and he says they haven't extensively tested the Game Room yet. So anyone else that's having problems with Game Room, that's probably going to be further down the road.
Cool. And if you want to say goodnight to everybody, I'm going to rotate you out and rotate Stormcatcher back in.
Good night, everyone.
Ross, go ahead and talk about your HTML5 experiences.
My HTML5 experiences aren't too terrible bad. I mean, I have experiences the same things that were just mentioned, and a few more. There's been those slight things, but for the most part, what gets me is my issues is I'm having a blurred screen, so it's like I have a wrong prescription of glasses. So I can only do it for so long without getting a headache on that issue. I can make it by all the others, but as far as I do get a headache if I keep it for too long. So that's my main thing is I'm getting a blur in all the graphics actually. So I'm not sure where that's coming from or what, but that's what I'm having. But other than that, I'm pretty pleased. I do want to shout out to say that please, for the people that do not have Kixeye support or do not have Discord, just hold off on the testing of the HTML5. But the others, but people that can put in actual results and things, those are the people that I suggest to try it out. And that's about it.
Cool. Watchman?
Okay, yeah, in the first instance, I didn't find it that great. I mean, it did seem a little bit laggy. It was slow to get into battles. It was very difficult to get in. A lot of battles would have just started before I could get in, yeah. The aspect ratio, there was a problem, but they fixed that now, the screen size, yeah. The one other thing I'd like to say is it seems like they've carried it over from Flash, which we don't need, is hands off the ship's will. Now, really, the only reason to have that in there was because it would be using up flash memory. But now we don't have the problem of burning up flash memory because it's HTML. They could take that away because it's annoying if...
Actually, the main reason for hands off the ship wheel is because they don't want to eat up their server bandwidth for somebody who's not actually playing.
Yeah, but a lot of time you could be in conversation with people that could be, a slightly extended discussion. And it's quite annoying, when it was... Because remember a few months back that we wasn't getting logged out, and that was actually quite nice,
I'm sure they were not liking their server bill when it hit though.
So we could at least extend the time.
Yeah,
or else make it so typing actually counts as being active.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the key there.
Because you are still on, the game. You might just be waiting for something to repair and have a chat while you're doing it. So
yeah, that'd be good.
Stormcatcher.
Okay, I'm going to step back to Bounty for a minute. Everybody beware, because this coming out with the new hull, Hopefully you got your bases set up the way you need to be, because you're going to get hit a lot, because the other alliance is going to try to stop you from getting the holes who hit them. Now, HTML5. I tried it the first day. I had the same problem when I hit a SSRB. I had the black screen, and it cleared up later on. Connecting to battle took a lot longer than it usually did in Flash. I sent in a ticket on that. They did send the gold for my repairs, because by the time I got in, the battle was over. So they did send gold on that. It does take a while if you're jumping from base to the map, it takes a little bit longer to get everything on the map loaded. Same thing with jumping from the map to your base. It takes a few minutes to get stuff loaded, but you have to remember, since this is something new, it also, HTML5 is like some of the other stuff you do. It takes a while to load, because it's loading stuff into its own cache. So
Yeah, it's got to upload all those pictures and all the information for each individual weapon that's in there and everything like that.
Yeah, so after a while, everything loads a little bit faster. When you hit it 3 or 4 times, it gets everything loaded into it. So it's okay when you go in, it knows that this is here, this is here, this is here. Now, if you change something out and you load, it might take a few minutes longer, because it's got to pick that up and add it into the cache for HTML5. And,
Cool.
and good night, everybody.
Cool. Ozzy.
I haven't really used it at all. But what he was saying, now, does that, the next time you go, okay, say you log off the game and then come back the next day, is that already loaded in there still, or does it have to start all over again?
No, it's already it's loaded in your local storage or whatever. It's okay, that way you can reference these files again. That's just why the very first time, like I know some people, the very first time they turned on HTML5 and tried to get in the game, there were some people that said it took them up to like 30 minutes for the game to load. Because they must not have the greatest connection in the world, and then I was having to, download all those files and everything. So it took quite some time. And of course, Battle Pirates players, a lot of people aren't that patient. So if it's not loaded up within the first minute, they're clicking refresh.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anywhere. You kind of just got to let it sit there and do something else and come back and check to see if it's loaded yet the very first time.
Yeah, like I say, I haven't really used it, so.
Gotcha. Cuddle?
I have an ultra-wide monitor, and when I went to HTML5, I was getting some weird resolutions. So I didn't do much more testing after that. I just loaded in, looked at my base planner, various different places. I was getting huge black bars on the side of my screen. So yeah, I just logged off. I'll come back once it's no longer a beta.
Yeah, sorry, Cole, but I think they might have changed. Might be worth having a quick refresh of it and see if it looks different now, because they have changed the resizing or the aspect ratio of it. If you're logging in with a Kickstarter site, so it might be worth having a quick look at it again.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the only thing I did have when I did try it. I'm not saying I didn't try it, but yeah, when I was clicking on the map, I thought I was on the map, and I actually wasn't on the map, even though I was clicking on water. Yeah.
I know myself, the issues I personally had was, they had the thing where for a while, and it might still be that way, I haven't checked it yet today, but if you were in full screen and you went to go to type in the chat box, it would kick you out of full screen. They're aware that that's an issue. That's actually something that's built into HTML5. They are trying to find a workaround for it. I don't know if they have yet or not. My fleets and my dock, like when I would go in my dock, I could see if I was just looking at the fleets as they're displayed in there normally, you can tell which fleet's damaged, which one isn't. But when I would click on the individual fleets and the individual boats would come up, it would not show me damage on the individual boats, and that was kind of weird. So, you didn't know exactly where your damage was across your fleet by looking at the individual boats. I myself didn't attempt to hit any bases in HTML5, but I heard that that's a really bad idea. And if you're going to hit bases, don't do it in HTML5, do it in Flash. But yeah, for the most part, mainly it was, just the loading thing. And like I said, a lot of that is just, getting all those sprites and equations loaded in for the first time, and that's going to take a while.
Yeah, I think we was all expecting it to be a cluster. Anyway, it's gone a little bit smoother than I was expecting it to. I mean, we all know there's going to be teething problems, but hopefully they can iron them out pretty fast. Once we give them the feedback.
Oh yeah, I was talking to Peter that night, and I'm like, dude, I feel bad for you. He's like, well, don't actually. It's going a whole lot smoother than I thought it was. And I'm like, oh, okay then. Because, at that point, he was like the only kicks guy online or whatever, and he's trying to field everybody's questions. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for this guy.
No, and you're right. I'm not seeing people going, I'm quitting. I am seeing a lot of people saying they're having loading issues, but that's still not mandatory. So we're getting by with it, and I like it. I think it's going pretty good myself. I mean, there's a lot of problems, but it's not terrible. It's going all right because I don't see the majority of the, everybody going, I'm quitting,
Wrong answer, Ross. I've seen the post in the forums. Yes, there was a few people in there said, nope, just like Kicks, I can't get nothing right. If they can't get this right, I'm gone. Bye. See ya.
Really?
Well, there's some people in this game, though, if somebody peaks their base, they're quitting. So
yeah. I was meaning like a group, quite a bit, and I'm not seeing that in comms for the majority, or really not. So I'm seeing problems, and we expected that. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, they were very clear that there was going to be problems, and this was beta. So, like, if you don't mind logging into it and actually helping to make a better game by giving them your bugs that you find on or via the forums or via the tickets, it's definitely worth doing. If you can't be bothered to help make a better game, well, shut the hell up. That's kind of my opinion about it.
That's it. We all knew it was going to take a little while. It just needs basically a little fine tuning. That's all. It just needs fine tuning.
And report it accurately for those people that I know that I've been guilty myself. But let maybe even give them too much information. Report everything you can. Report maybe even what kind of computer. Report well. Don't just say it's broke. You know what I mean? I'm seeing some where it's broken thing, and that's not going to help either. So just report really well.
Yep, totally agree.
If anybody knows anything about the internet and stuff like that, when they go to pages and that, how they sometimes take a longer to load than a few other pages because it's got to load graphics, it has to load this, that, and this. They should have known that this game was going to be like this. When they was going to switch to HTML5, yes, I even know when I started seeing it load, it was taking longer to load. I was thinking, okay, when I was on the older systems with AOL, they ought to know when, those days when you went to certain pages, how they load it because of maybe pictures and other things. That's what's happening right now. Just bear with it. Eventually, all that started clearing up, and that's the exact same thing that is going to happen with Battle Pirates. You just got to give it time.
Yeah, it's basically, look, we know that eventually the whole game's going over HTML, 5. So if you see an issue and you don't report it, and then there's still an issue later, you've only got yourself to blame, if you haven't reported it. So, work as a team here. We're all working. We play the game together, you know what I mean? So if you do see an issue, put a ticket in, Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up what we want to talk about this week. As far as BP next week, it's just Bounty and 2 TLCs that we don't know what they are yet.
No.
So,
oh yeah. next Wednesday. For everybody that don't know that might be listening, I got it wrong, but I was corrected with it. Next week, if you can't get on the forums for 3 hours, that's because they are revamping the forums.
That's funny. I'm having problems getting on the forums right now, but whatever. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap this one up. Put a bow on it, or what RB used to say, knock the baby on the head or something. So that bothered me when he said that. I'm like, whatever. I guess that's an Australian thing. But anyway, so we'll see you guys next week. Have fun. Get ready for your bounty because you know it's coming. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, join the page if you haven't. All that fun, normal stuff. And laters.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.